Don't even come back to the house. You just put the shit in the box from now on. You got it? Don't you say one bad word about my damn dog, son. And that's how that came to be.
That's a funny story.
How about that son of a bitch said that dog bit him and didn't bite him, did it?
My dad's pretty much like an automobile guy, and he pretty much reached his limit with the cars he had here, to where he couldn't have no more on his policy or whatever. He's got the truck, the Cherokee. He's got another truck, a car, another car, another car. He likes to, you know, buy and sell, buy and sell.
He has a little bit of everything. You know what they say, one man's junk is another man's treasure. I think that's definitely the case in this scenario, because like he'll have a lot of little things that to some people would probably be junk, but some people would be a treasure. This is where the peddler lived, if I'm not mistaken. And actually it was a shop for DA, the district attorney, or dumbass. And he still actually works out there time to time. Right over there he has a bobcat. No, not a real bobcat, like an animal, the bobcat. He has a bobcat that you move dirt with.
I get to use it a lot too, you know, for my wham wham, my jumping.
If you guys need to dry anything, it's right here. You know what I mean? And the secret thing is, it doesn't even need to be plugged in. It's amazing. Right here behind us is the true beginning of it all. We built our first arena in our dad's backyard. Had a friend over who was building the arena around the trampoline ring, and it was TC Flexer, Trace Goodell, and he actually cut our electric cable in half, so we didn't have power for a couple days, and our dad was pretty upset about that. And this is where we moved it to. This became a very, very famous spot. And this is where our dreams all began. And as you look around, you can see how much it's grown up. We actually have footage of this that we shot a few years ago.
This was one of our tanning spots too. Like back during a nice hot summer day, I'd come out here in my little thong and with some baby oil and lay out here, you know, kind of away from the house and everything, and get some sun. As you can see, it's grown up tremendously since those days. You know, we always had dogs when we were kids, but I was the first one. I went out and bought a guinea pig, and its name was Nutmeg. I forget the longevity, or I forget the length of his life, but like I buried him actually somewhere right in this region near the building, and I cried like a baby out here, boy, because I lost that thing. But I buried him right there. That's the story that's never been told. Nutmeg was my guinea pig's name, the first like pet I had on my own.
Just got my luggage. They lost it on the way home from San Jose.
This is known as the pump house. It's always been. That's what Matt and I have known it as. But like when we were young and little, man, we discovered a treasure, man. We found some dirty magazines out here. I mean, there was a lot of them too.
I think the ones, you know, the kids nowadays, they call the nudie mags.
The nudie mags, found them. You know, yeah. There might still be a few in here, man. Woo!
You shouldn't be looking at them books like that.
Dirty.
Oh, shit. Where you buy them at? Oh, give me some.
You can have them if you want them.
Yeah, we found those when we were little. We found some of those mags, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we come out here, you know, with a little fucking oil and shit. I mean, Jergens lotion. Lotion. Hope Daddy ain't looking.
Oh, Daddy don't get home. Shannon.
Oh, shit, Matt. What are you doing? Nothing. I'm reading.
Yeah, up in the hide.
You got to get your swank on, man.
The building you'll see behind me, we actually always refer to it as the tractor shed, and this is where my dad would store his tractors and his bush hogs and tires and golf carts and odds and ends and whatnot. As you can see, he has a bunch of odds and ends. You can get a little sneaking view of that. Right behind me here was our actual first playhouse that our dad built for us when we were very, very young. And myself and Jeff, we just come hang out in this house. It was kind of like it was our own little house.
And this is the first time actually when my dad started, Matt had a friend named John Ellis, and his brother David Ellis was a graffiti artist. And when Matt was hanging out with John, I would always go over there to pick him up, and he would always be painting the walls from the buildings out there. And I was like, wow, that's the coolest thing. So that inspired me to start trying to paint. Anyway, he said, you want to come paint the side of that wall for me? I said, yeah. So you can see that's the That's the freshest, and that is for those of you who don't know, the imagination symbol with the lowercase I.
Our land extends for maybe 1,000 feet that way and 1,000 feet back. It's a wooded area now. There were several little places back there that are growing now where Jeff and I would have little hideouts, and we would build like little clubhouses, and whatnot. Where our dad would always get real hot at us when we go out and we would nail stuff in the trees, especially pine trees, because it was bad for them. But we would always build messy little situations out there, and it's funny that our dad would get hot at us considering he'd keep such a mess around here, you know what I'm saying?
This is a very older model. I've never used it much. I mean, I've operated a lot because you can, like, Matt's old burn hole where the famous fire bumps took place was actually dug with this. For what it's worth, whatever Daddy paid for, I'm sure he's got his money out of it.
Alrighty. So this basically wraps up the episode known as the Hardy Compound. We've basically walked around, almost our entire 120 acres here. We've kind of showed you the lay of the land, given you some of the stories, some of the history, and we're finishing off here in the spot where everything began. This is the house myself and Jeff we were born in. This is our dad's house still to this date. And if you look at it from the road, it actually looks like the house from The Strangers. We just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a tour of our 121 acres here, known as the Hardy Compound. It's our little slice of the planet Earth. So not only do Matt, Jeff, and the legend get to see it and love it, we want each and every one of you to get a tour and get to know what the Hardy Compound is all about. Hope you've enjoyed.